Okay, so the objective of today's online lecture is to get to know Great Britain. Okay, so we will just touch based on like brief synopsis of different topics related to Great Britain. For example, its geography, its government, its currency, its education system, and so on. Okay, so in the following lectures, we will get to learn about, let's say, British media, British music, British literature, British like TV shows, and so on. Okay, movies maybe. But for today, it's a general like introduction of getting to know Great Britain. Okay. Okay, so I assume some of you have already heard about the term like British Isles. Okay, so the term British Isle refers to the group of islands, okay, that comprises, which was like originally British. Okay, so for example, when you say British Isles, it comprises of England. Okay, it consists of Scotland towards the north, Ireland towards the west. Then Wales is also towards the west, which is connected to the England itself. And there's also Northern Ireland, okay, and the Republic of Ireland. So Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, it's one island, okay, but politically it's two different entities, okay, it's two different territories. So altogether, all of these land masses, it's you call it like British Isles, okay. So in the slide, you can see the capital cities of each territory there. For England, the capital city is London there. All right. For Scotland, it's Edinburgh, and for Wales, it's Cardiff. For Northern Ireland, is Belfast, and for the Republic of Ireland, it's Dublin. Okay. They have their own internal governments. Okay. All right. So there's also another term called Great Britain. Okay. So when we say Great Britain, now Great Britain is like one contiguous land mass. Okay, one connected land mass. Although it has like small islands or archipelago. Okay. Uh, but when we say Great Britain, it consists of England. Okay, which is a big chunk of it. There's also Wales connected to England, and towards the north, Scotland. Okay. So three territories comprise Great Britain. All right. There's also another term here, United Kingdom. Okay. So most of you have heard about United Kingdom. Okay. So when we say United Kingdom, there's like one extra territory there, Northern Ireland, okay, which was later added to Great Britain to make it United Kingdom. Okay. So United Kingdom has a capital, and it is London itself. So the capital of England and the United Kingdom, it's the same thing. Okay. All right, so looking at the geography, UK lies towards the north, like west of in the Europe. Okay, so it is towards the north of France. Okay, and towards the west of like Germany, Brussels, there's like a Netherlands there. Okay, and the Republic of the Ireland is pretty much connected there. So when we talk about like Great Britain would lie towards the east of the Republic of Ireland. Okay, the closest country to the Great Britain would be the France. Okay, it is separated by the English Channel, and the nearest like a separation is only 35 kilometers away between London. I mean between the Great Britain and France. Okay, and the UK is surrounded uh, by much of it is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and the space between, I mean the body of water between the Great Britain and the France, it's called the English Channel, and towards the east there is the North Sea. Okay, so pretty much like in all sides it is surrounded by water. Okay, but much of it has been surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so some of you may have heard this term called Commonwealth. Okay, so at one time, the British Empire covered much of the land on Earth. Okay, for example, India was a part of the British Empire. Okay, and many Asian countries and African countries were once a part of the the British Empire. So all of these countries, they are now like independent countries now. Okay, they have their own government and so on. So this term Commonwealth, it is used to refer to those countries which were at one point part of the British Empire. Okay, so it is an organization that was formed for the common benefit or common welfare of the individual nations. Okay, that were once part of the British Empire. Okay, so India is a Commonwealth. It is the Commonwealth. Okay, is a part of the Commonwealth. Okay. All right, so let's look at the relationship between Nepal and the UK. Okay, so UK or the British government is the first like international body to recognize Nepal as a sovereign nation. Okay, I mean Nepal has been like an independent sovereign, okay, from before, but England or the British government was the first to give Nepal the status of an independent country. Okay, and the friendly relationship between Nepal and UK, it's a long, it's like over 200 years old. Okay, and interesting thing, Nepal, England, or the United Kingdom is the first country or the first entity to have its embassy in Nepal. Okay, it's before even like India was formed. All right. Okay. So the when we talk about the contribution from Nepal to United Kingdom, so Nepal actually contributed a lot to the British Empire or to the British Empire during the two great world wars, right? So during the first World War, Nepal sent almost like 200,000 men uh, to fight against like the countries fighting against the Great Britain and the United States. All right. And also, it was kind of interesting to find out. Like, I was searching for this topic, and I found out that Nepal actually, it was during the Rana regime. Okay. So, Ranas were ruling Nepal. Of course, there was like kings as well. But actually, they sent about like 1 million British like pound to the British government. Like, Nepal actually assisted Great Britain or the United Kingdom by sending this much money, like 1 million pound. That's a lot of money then. Okay, that was like like more than 100 years ago, right? First World War, I think it was 1914. So it was that. Okay, so now looking back, UK is Nepal's top like development partner. That means it is like the top like it. Nepal actually gets a lot of financial aid from the UK. Okay, all right. So the situation was a little different, like about like 100 years ago, right? Okay, so let's look at the some comparison between the UK and Nepal. Okay, so the land mass of the UK is about like 244,100 square kilometers. Okay, so we compare to Nepal, the area of Nepal is 147,000 and some 100 kilometers. Okay, square kilometers. So actually, the UK is 1.66 times bigger than Nepal. Okay, so when we say like when we often hear like Nepal is a small country, so when we compare to the UK, Nepal is not that small. Okay, all right. So similarly for the population, okay. So this population was done, the counting was done in 2019. Okay, so then the population of the United Kingdom was 66.5 million. Okay, so during 2018, the population of Nepal was about 28 million. So that means the population of the United Kingdom, it's like around like 2.37 or 2.4 times that of Nepal. Okay, so it's not like that much huge difference in population as well. Okay, all right. So the main difference would be the GDP, okay, or gross domestic product. All right. So the GDP of the United Kingdom is 2.855 trillion US dollars. This was from the data from 2018. And I think the data for Nepal was done in 2019. So in 2019, the GDP of Nepal was 29 billion US dollars. Okay, that means the GDP of the UK was about 98 times bigger than the GDP of Nepal. So even though the country is not that big, even though the population is not very big, the GDP is definitely a lot bigger. It's like 100 times bigger than that of Nepal. Okay. All right. So let's look at the flag of the UK. So the flag of the UK is also called the Union Jack or the Union flag. Okay. And there's a reason behind it. Okay. The reason is because the flag of the UK consists of individual member states' flags. Okay, so as you can see in the figure there, it has the flag of the England. Okay, so some of you may already know this flag of England, like if you are like used to watching like football. Okay, whenever England plays with other countries, you will see this flag of England with the white with the red cross. Okay, so that's the flag of England. So on the right hand side, we have the flag of Scotland. Okay, with a blue background with white cross. Okay, so when you mix the flag of England and Scotland, you get the original Union flag before the Northern Ireland was integrated into to form the United Kingdom. Okay, so when the Northern Ireland was integrated into the United Kingdom, its flag was also incorporated in the Union flag. Okay, so as a result, the bottom flag over there. Okay, so that's the current flag of the UK. Okay, so some of you, if you may be wondering why, because the United Kingdom consists of 4 different territories, including Wales, why is the flag of Wales not included in the current flag of the United Kingdom? The answer is because when the original Union flag was made, okay, Wales was a part of the Kingdom of the British Kingdom, okay, Kingdom of England. All right, so it was a part of the kingdom, so it did not have its own flag. But now it has its own independent flag, but they don't include that in the Union flag. It's assumed that it's a part of England when before. Okay, so maybe like this is interesting for some students. Okay, so you guys are used to seeing the flag of the UK, but not know like how in the hell it came up with the flag. Okay, or you may be confused about seeing the flag of England. So when you see the flag of like UK, maybe that you thought like, okay, that's the flag of like England, but actually it's different. Okay, when we say England, it has its own flag, okay, which is the white with the red cross. Okay, so how many of you guys have already have some information about it? Guys, anybody would like to comment on that? What was that? I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Understood.
Okay. All right. I mean, Nepal has also a very interesting flag, right? We have like a unique flag. All right. So let's move forward. Okay. If you don't have anything to say. Okay. So let's talk about the government of the United Kingdom. Okay. So it is a parliamentary democracy. Okay. With the king or the queen on top. Okay. That means the queen or the king, I mean, rules the country or the rules the jurisdiction. Okay, but the laws are made by the parliament. Okay, it is similar to what Nepal was, I think, like a decade ago, when there were like a king. There was a king in Nepal, right? So in the UK, right, there's a parliament. They discuss the law, like the bills, right? And they finally come up with the law that's approved by the head of the state, which is currently the head of the state is Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, so I think her age is around 96 right now. So if something were to happen to Queen Elizabeth II, so her son, like Prince Charles, will be the king, the new king. Okay, so that's how it will go. So in the UK, there are two major political parties. Okay, so the first one is the Labour Party, and the second one is Conservative Party. Okay, so currently the Prime Minister of the UK is Boris Johnson. Johnson, right, from the Conservative Party. So you might have heard his name come up during recent time. Okay, so he actually contracted coronavirus recently, and he was actually hospitalized, and he actually got better. Um, okay, so did you guys know that?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay, all right. So I guess some of you uh, know it, and some don't. Okay, all right. So when we say like British Parliament, okay, it consists of three different parts. Okay, the part on the very top is the crown or the sovereign. Okay, this is what you call like currently it's taken by the Queen. Okay, or it could be king as well. Okay, if the king is alive, then it would be the king. If the king is dead, then the queen, or his, I mean his or her descendant. Okay, all right. The next part is the House of the Lords. Okay, so this the people, the members of the House of the Lords. I think it was like it's in hundreds actually. When I was doing my research, there was like 500 or 400 some members in each like the houses. Okay, there's two houses. One is the House of the Lords, which is like an upper house. Okay, so the members are selected by the sovereign or the crown. Okay, so the Queen actually selects the members in the House of Lords. So in the House of the Lords, the members are mainly from like let's say head of the churches. Okay, so like a it could be like bishops from the churches in the United Kingdom. Okay, and there's also the House of Commons. Okay, so the members of the House of the Commons are elected by people. Okay, so when they have elections, so people will vote for the representatives for the House of the Commons. Okay, so this may be different from the system in Nepal. Okay, all right. So in Nepal, we have like two major political parties, right? Like Nepali Congress and the Communist Party. So in the UK, normally in the West, okay, you really don't hear about the term communist. Okay, they the 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 common connotation of the term communism is not that good. Okay, so even though you say like the Labour Party, Conservative Party, it's different from the Communist Party or similar parties. Okay. All right, so the last point here, okay, so when they have to make a law, okay, when they have to discuss on a bill, both the House of the Lords and the House of the Commons come together, okay, at the Palace of Westminster in London, because London is the capital of the United Kingdom also, okay, so each members from different territories, for example, let's say Scotland, Wales, like Northern Ireland, England, they meet together at this a place in London to discuss on the bills. Okay. All right. Any question? Anyone
No,
that
sir.
has any more like extra information maybe? Sometimes what happens is like you guys may have like a family member in the UK. Okay. So you may have some extra information as well. Okay. So if you want to share, feel free. Go ahead.
Sir, who elects the Prime Minister?
Who elects Prime Minister?
Yes, sir.
I haven't really researched on that. I think I would assume like people, I guess, but I'm not sure. I'll have to do some research on that. I would assume
Sir,
the elected party, okay? Somebody from the elected party, I guess, would become like a prime minister. Yeah, go ahead.
is he alive, sir?
She, who is she? I mean,
Queen Elizabeth.
yeah, second, she's still alive. She's like 96 years old, but she is still alive.
She's more stronger than you, Sunil.
Okay. Anything else? Any other question beside that? So the prime minister is actually the elected person. Okay. All right, we'll come back to it. All right. For now, if you guys don't have any question, let's move forward.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So in England, they give the some personality like their in front of their name, sir. How did they give that?
Okay, I think they have to be like I know like there's a ceremony where the queen would give that title. Okay, only like very few people are given that title. Those people who have contributed to the society, right, British society, they get that rank, sir. Okay, but we here we use sir for teachers or for pretty much like anyone, I would guess. Okay, for any elder people. Okay, but this
Yes.
sir, the term is reserved for like it's title, I would say. Okay,
Okay,
right?
thank you, sir.
Have you seen like the queen like a it's a ceremony where a queen would like like hold like it's a sword, okay, official sword, and she would put like the sword on the shoulder, like I think like towards the left and towards the right or right left, okay, and then
Yes,
the
sir.
person would be called sir, right?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the ceremony there, but that's how they get like people get the title sir. Okay.
In some movies, I also saw that.
Okay. All right. So you have some idea about it. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. So people who get the title sir, okay, I get that's it's called the Order of Knighthood. Okay. So people who get that title are they're called like knighted. Okay. KNIGHT. Right. Okay. So there's a special term for that. Any other question, guys? All right. So let's move forward. Okay, so let's look at the currencies in the UK. Okay, so currently, okay, there's only four cash denomination in the UK. Okay, so previously there was like a cash and like pound denomination, but they are not in circulation anymore. Okay, it's when money, like cash money used to be paper money. Now all the currencies, they are made of polymers or plastic. Okay. All right, so the first denomination, the lowest cash denomination currently, currently printed, it's the £5 bill or £5 note. Okay, so let me put one more thing, information. Okay, regardless of the denomination or even like if a currency is like a cash or coin, it has the picture or the portrait of the king on it. Okay, the front side would have the portrait or the picture of the queen. Okay, whoever is the head of uh, the 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 United Kingdom right now. Okay, then on the back they have like depending on like they have like a picture of different people. Okay, those people who have contributed to the United Kingdom. Okay, so on the £5 note they have the picture of Winston Churchill. Okay, anyone know who is Winston Churchill? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
so
sir.
during the World War II, right? So he was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. All right. All right. So the £5 bill is also called fiber. Okay. So people you would hear like it's an informal term. It's a colloquial term. Okay. So you'd hear like people say, "Hand me the fiber" or "Take your fiver." Okay. So that means the £5 notes. Okay. And £5 note is also called like £5, or another very popular term is £5. Okay. So in a sense, like $1, £1 equals £1. Okay, but there's no like £1 note. Okay, so for £5 note, you may hear like British people say £5 for that. Okay, So the next cash denomination after the next higher cash denomination after £5 is £10 note. Okay, so this one has the portrait or the picture of Jane Austen. Okay, on its back. All right, and the £10 note is also called tenner. Okay, so give me a tenner, or £10 or 10 quid. Okay, just remember 1 quid equals £1. Okay, so that will make it clear to you guys. So if you hear the term quid, especially popular term for British people, then you know what it is. Okay, so how many of you have know Jane Austen or have read any work by Jane Austen? But at least I've heard about Jane Austen. Anyone? Have you read like novels like Emma, like Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility? Okay, so definitely you can, if you're interested in reading, these are the classical novels, okay, British novels. So you can definitely read it. Or these days you can find like movies made on those classical like novels. Okay, so there's like a very good. It's a long movie. I think it's like 9 or 10 hours on like Pride and Prejudice. Okay, so I think it's made by the BBC. So if you're interested, you can definitely watch that. Okay. All right. So moving forward, the higher cash bill, like more than £10 would be £20 note. Okay. So this has the portrait or the picture of the artist J.M.W. Turner. Again, these are the people who have contributed to the United Kingdom. Okay. So even though you may not know who this person Turner is, so they should be well known to the British people. Okay, or it has like they have like significant contribution to the United Kingdom. All right. Okay. So the £20, they don't call it like for any like a bill higher than £10. They don't call it anymore like a 20-year. Okay, they don't do that. It's either like £20, 20 quids. Okay, either 20 quid, £20, or it's basically those terms are popular. Okay. All right. So the highest denomination cash in the UK is £50. Okay, they don't have any currency beyond £50. Okay, so if you compare it with the United States, okay, in the US, $100 bill is the highest like denomination in the US. Okay, in Nepal it's 1,000 rupees. Okay, so £50 is the highest denomination. Okay. All right, so it has the portrait or picture of Alan Turing on the reverse, okay? And it's also called £50 or 50 quid. 50 quid would be more informal term for £50, okay? So how many of you, like being a computer like a major, okay, IT major, how many of you have heard about Alan Turing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me his contribution to the
He's
United Kingdom?
He's a mathematician also.
Okay, right. So what is his contribution to the United Kingdom? Anyone? So during World War II, right, Second Great World War, so Germans, they had this code machine. Okay, whenever German like soldiers or like intelligence like people, they need to communicate with other like bodies. Okay, I mean other Germans, they communicated through using the codes. Okay, so using cryptography, right? So they had this machine called Enigma machine. Okay, which was used to code and decode messages. Okay, and at that time, Enigma machine was thought of as an unbreakable machine. Okay, so they thought nobody could break the code, Enigma code. So Alan Turing is responsible for breaking Enigma code, and it has been said that because of the finding the breaking the Enigma code, World War II actually ended sooner than it would have. I think it was like 10 years sooner than otherwise it would have ended. Okay, so they contribute to that to Alan Turing. Okay. All right. So moving to the coins in the UK. Okay, so they have more coins denomination than cash denomination. Okay, So the first two coins, okay, 1 penny. Actually, some of you may be confused, okay? So for singular term, okay, it's penny, okay? So for plural term, it's pence, okay? So for like 1 penny, 2 pence, okay? So as I mentioned, like regardless of like a cash denominations or coin denominations, okay? All of these currencies have the picture of the head of the state, which is the currently it's Queen, right? Queen Elizabeth II. Her like a face or her like a the portrait is in all currencies, okay, regardless of cash or coin, okay. So for 1 penny or 2 pence, they are made up of copper, okay. For all other denomination of coins, they are made up of silver, okay. All right, so let's move forward. It's 1 penny. The lowest coin, denomination coin is 1 penny, okay. So 100 pennies would make 1 pound. All right.
Yes, sir. I got 1 pound.
What was that?
I have 1 pound coin, sir.
Okay, that's good. How did you get it?
So my friend gave me.
Right. Okay, so your friend like from from UK or?
No, sir, no. My school
Okay.
friend.
All right, all right,
I don't know how we get it, but he gave me.
all right, all right. That's fine. Again, like Nepalese have a lot of like their relatives in the UK, right? Because of like Nepalese serving in the British Gorkha thing. So I assume like many people have like coins or anything like that. Okay, so the next the coin denomination bigger than 2 pence is 5 pence. Okay, so it's equal to 5 pennies. Okay, so any like coin higher than 2 pence, they're made of copper. Okay, all right. So the next higher denomination for coin beyond 5 would be 10 pence. Okay, so you can see the picture of the coins on the screen there. All right. So the front side kind of looks similar, but the back side tells you the amount. Okay. So it says like 5 pence, 10 pence, and different pictures also there. All right, so higher than 10 pence would be 20 pence. All right, so 20 pence and then 50 pence. Again, they're made with silver, okay, and different either pictures or different figures there, okay, with the numerical like a designation there that would signify it's how much pence that is. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 more denomination of coins. Okay, so the that's like a 1 pound coin. Okay, and the highest coin denomination is 2 pounds. Okay, and it is a little different from other coins. Okay, so it has like a two-tone color in it. Okay, it's a bimetallic in design. Okay, so you can see that in the screen. The outer periphery is more like it has like golden tone to it. Okay, and it is made with made with silver otherwise. Okay, that's why they call it sterling silver. Okay, and pound sterling. All right. Anybody has any 2 pound coin? Okay.
No, sir, no.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so those are the what 8 coin denominations and 4 cash denominations. Okay, so if you have to, let's say after you graduate from the Softwarica College, if you decide to go to the United Kingdom for your higher education or for work, okay, you have some idea now about British currency as well. Okay. All right, so let's look at the British education system, okay, or the UK education system. Okay, so the education system in the UK is divided into 4 levels. Okay, so the first level or the early education is divided into 2 stages. Okay, it is primary education and secondary education. Okay, and both primary education and secondary education, they are mandatory. That means parents have to admit their kids to these to the primary education and secondary education by law. Okay, so if you're a parent in the United Kingdom, you can't say I will not send my kid to school. Okay, it's mandatory. All right. So the primary education is divided into 4 stages. Okay, they call it key stages. Okay, key stage 1 and key stage 2 curriculum are taught to primary education level students. Okay, those students when kids reach age 5. Okay, so that's when they start their formal education. Before that, then the kids would be kind of either like a homeschool, like where parents teach them, or they would be sent to other forms of like a early childhood education. Okay, the formal education begins from primary education. All right, and it lasts from age 5 through age 11. So those kids who are from age 5 through age 11, they go to primary education and they complete key stages 1 and 2. Okay, so when they complete key stages 1 and 2, okay, they have their own curriculum, level of curriculums for those key stages. Okay, then they go to secondary education to complete key stages 3 and 4. Okay, so at the end of the secondary education, they have to give an examination. It's like a board examination, which they call it GCSE. Okay, it stands for General Certificate of Secondary Education. Okay, so up to secondary education, the education is mandatory for anyone born in the UK. All right. So beyond the secondary education now, education is not compulsory. Okay, so if somebody reached age 16, they can say, okay, I don't want to study anymore. They have that right to say that. Okay, but before that, they have to go to school. All right. So when they give this examination, when they pass this examination, okay, they get the GCSE certificate. Okay. Now with that certificate, they can either start working, okay, or join A-level classes. Okay, so kind of similar to what we have here, +1 and +2. Okay, A levels would last for 2 years. Okay, and they're like different course. Okay, under A level courses. Okay, and students or people, kids have another choice there. Okay, join a vocational school. Okay, so vocational schools is like trade-based schools. Okay, so for example, those people who are interested in, let's say, learning about carpentry, learning about, let's say, plumbing, like electrician, they want to be electrician and so on, they would join this vocational training schools. Okay, similar to what we have here, CTVT, right? Okay, so those schools also last for 2 years. Okay, so towards the end of 2 years, they would have to apply for vocational certification, or they would have to basically take the examination for their trade of choice. Okay, so only when they get the certificate, like A-level certificate or vocational training certificate, then they can pursue their college level education. Okay, and it is called higher education. So it's also called university level education. Okay, so they can go through like a bachelor level, school level education, then master level and PhD level and so on. Okay, so that's the 4 stages of education system in the UK. All right. Okay, and it's kind of comparable to the education system here as well. Although we don't have this marked like A's, like if your kid reaches like 5 years, you have to admit your kid to school. I don't think we have laws like that, but definitely we have like a +2 here. Then when students pass the +2, then those students can pursue their like a higher education here. Although we don't have that good like a environment for, let's say, trade-based vocational training or vocational schools here. Okay, I don't really think so, because you see like anyone can open, let's say, a carpenter shop. Anyone can open, let's say, a barber shop. Okay, without taking any training, any formal training here, right? People especially from, let's say, even like India, they come here to Nepal, and they start their their trade shops or trade business, right? So that's not so in the UK. Okay, at least
Excuse me,
you're
so,
expected to have. What was that?
so what if the parents could not give their children to answer
The
education.
up to secondary education, it's state funded.
Free. Oh,
Yeah, it's funded by taxpayers. I mean, if you go to like private school, it's different. Okay, but state funded school, I would think, yeah. So that's why.
so is it
Okay,
only
they have.
for their citizens?
I would assume so. Yeah, they pay the tax, and that's for them, right? Any other question? In many of the Europe, actually, most of the Europe, it's like that. Okay, even in the United States, up to high school, government pays for that. Okay, only if you don't want to send your kids to, let's say, a government-funded school, and if you want to send to, like, let's say, chartered school or some private school, then you'll have to pay for your kids' education. Okay, otherwise, it's funded by the state. Okay, it's something different from Nepal. In Nepal, people pay so much tax, but they don't get like things back in return, basically, right? All right, any other like comments, any question? Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, if you don't have any question. Okay, so Brexit. Okay, this we have been hearing this term Brexit for a long time now. Most of us have. I assume like there's like not a single student here who has not heard about Brexit. Okay, so put simply, okay, the term Brexit means UK or the United Kingdom leaving the European Union. Okay, so when we talk about from the geographic point of view, okay, the United Kingdom lies within Europe. Okay, it's a part of Europe. Okay, but they have this thing called European Union with their own laws, regulations, with even their own currency now. Okay, it's called Euro. Okay, so with their own immigration laws, with their own defense laws, like custom laws and so on. Okay, so UK, they have decided, the people in the UK have decided that they want something different. Okay, different from the European Union laws. Okay, so the people actually voted to leave the European Union and to become like what it was, a sovereign country. Okay, it was from sovereign country from before, so they wanted to remain sovereign country going forward. Okay, but that is not so for other countries like Germany, like Italy, like France. Okay, they all have given up their currency like before. If you remember, like in Germany, the currency used to be called mark. In Italy, the currency used to be called lira. Okay, so they have like relinquished their currencies, and now they operate under the European Union framework. Okay, all right. So it is different for the UK now. Okay, so if you want to, let's say, immigrate to UK, you have to follow UK immigration laws and not the European Union immigration laws. All right. Okay. So on 31st, like January, just like it's not that long ago. Okay, so UK, the United Kingdom, formally left the European Union. Okay, it's stopped being, there was like like people actually voted for it, so they formally decided to become like a separate from the European Union. Okay, all right. So it was never a part of European Union, but it decided to not be a part of European Union. Okay, so after 31st January 2020, okay, European Union actually, United Kingdom has 11 months, okay, to decide on what would be like the framework for, let's say, if United Kingdom wants to trade with the member states of the European Union, okay, how should be the rules be? Okay, so let's say if people from European Union wants to, let's say, travel to United Kingdom, or people from United Kingdom wants to travel to other parts of Europe. Okay, what would be the immigration laws now? Okay, since European Union and UK, they are different entities now. Okay, so during this 11 months, starting from the 1st February. Okay, so during this 11 months, the politicians in the UK and the politicians for the European Union are deciding on like the common framework now. Okay, with regards to like a trade, with regards to immigration and these topics. Okay, they have 11 months to come up with solution. Okay, so after December 31st, okay, 2020, okay, UK will have 3 options going forward. Okay, so it has all the people of UK have decided that they don't want to be part of European Union. That's finalized. Okay, that's Brexit is done. So now going forward, they have to decide on the let's say if EU was a nation, okay, it would be, let's say, termed as international. Okay, separate, not international, but international. So it's between like UK EU regulations now, laws and so on. Okay, so they have to come up with like they have to formulate laws between UK and EU. Okay, so if going beyond like 31st December 2020, UK will have 3 options. Okay, the first option is to extend the transition period, okay, from 11 months to maybe like 1 year, maybe 2 years, okay, to come up with a common solution for both EU and UK relationship. All right, that's one solution. If they cannot come up with the resolution or some kind of regulations within this 11 months. Okay, so another solution would be UK exiting the transition without any EU trade deal. Okay, so without making any kind of rules and regulation, UK would simply exit the EU. Okay, so third and the last option, okay, will be basically UK and EU coming up with a common resolution for the UK and EU relationship, okay, with regards to, let's say, trade, immigration, and so on. So there's like 3 possible scenarios going forward for UK, okay, between the relationship between UK and EU. All right, so that's basically Brexit for you guys. Okay, UK exiting or basically British exit or UK exiting the European Union. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have for you guys about getting to know the United Kingdom.